Welcome back, everyone, to my interview with Mr. Ryan from Ryan and Amanda.
That's right. And we're going to start up with question number 7.
And this is part 2.
All righty. Well, there you go. You start.
We have ordered Disney Park souvenirs through your personal shopper service. Can you tell everyone about that too?
Absolutely. So we used to live in Texas, and when we lived in Texas, we really loved Disney merch, and Disney Parks merch is there's just something about it, right? Everybody wants it, and we would fall into the same thing everybody else did. We wanted the merch. We had money. We were more than willing to give it to Disney, but there was no way to get it, without having to pay so much money for it. So we know the frustration. So we're here and we're in Orlando, and we could do that. We could be the shoppers that really don't take advantage of anybody. And there's a lot of, and let me say, there's a lot of great personal shoppers out there that do things the right way. And we wanted to make it easier for people. And when we see the eBay buyers, we're just as frustrated as everybody else.
Yeah.
So we want to help people get this merch. And that's kind of what our store was all about. And we talked about it for the longest time. We really did. This is something we talked about since day one. And I had a viewer reach out, and she was like, "Hey, I really want those Halloween Crocs." This is 2020, I believe.
Okay.
The Halloween Crocs. And at first I was like, okay, well, we can't do that. But then I started thinking, let's do a little test run here. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this process will work. And so, I asked Amanda, I said, we've been talking about this. Somebody asked me, why don't we you want to test this out and see how it goes? And so we did it. And we're like, oh, okay. And, at the time we didn't have a fee. So she sent us a tip for doing it. She was so happy. She loved the Crocs. And so me and Amanda said, okay, let's start figuring out how we're going to do this. And so we put a system in place, and, we're going to charge a fee, but we're going to make it small. So if something is $25, that's the price. We're going to put, if it's X amount of dollars, it's going to be this shopping fee. If it's over this amount, it's going to be this shopping fee, and that's it. And whatever shipping is. And shipping could be anything, depending on where that person's at. And we have shipped all over the world. We have shipped to New Zealand. We've shipped to London. We've shipped to Canada. We've shipped to Mexico. All over the place we have shipped to. And bringing that magic. And through it all, we have never charged more than what the amount is. I know buyers that will say the price, if it's 25, they'll say 30, or they'll say 35, and then they'll hit you with a shopping fee, and then they'll want a tip, and then they'll say, okay, here's shipping. That for me, that's you're not as bad as an eBay buyer, but you're bad. That's just not right. To me, that's taking advantage of that situation. Yeah. And all we want is something to help us cover our time, gas, that sort of thing. And that's why we do what we do. We really, there was like Friday, the crazy Figment popcorn bucket fiasco. We really made no money out of that. We made nothing. I think for each item we made $5, but PayPal takes about $3 of that.
That's right.
So honestly, we made $2 on each bucket. So, and I'm not saying that for anyone to feel bad about us, but we're not in this to become gazillionaires. And but we do it because we love seeing the feedback in reviews and comments about how happy somebody was that they were able to get this, and they didn't pay an arm and a leg for it.
I think that's a really important distinction that people need to understand between what you're saying. People, I've heard people call the eBay folks like scalpers and all this other kind of, it's not that. It's not like speculating. I'm going to buy 20 and put them out there and see what they go for.
Yeah.
These are actual people that contact you and say, I would like to get so and so. I can't
Mhm.
get there. Can you get it for me?
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a big distinction, and it matters.
It's a huge distinction. But there's this is something that I think Disney needs to work on. There is a huge market for Disney parks merch, and Shop Disney just doesn't get it done.
No.
And I don't know how they fix that. Disney, when it comes to apps other than Disney Plus, it's all bad. It's never been good. But I think they lose a lot of money on just not being able to get that merch to people that really want it, that just can't get to the park. How many people would have loved to have a Figment popcorn bucket?
Yeah. Well, and the thing that Emma and her mom did a video last year sometime. They went to a couple of the Burlington stores because they were getting some older park stuff.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of videos out there, and Melissa was like, I want to go see if they have anything good. So they found a bunch of stuff, and it's stuff for her collection, basically, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, something like that drew a lot of attention. And if we have an outlet store that's in San Marcos, Texas, so it's a little drive from us, but it's not too far. Occasionally they go. But the issue with that one is that, again, you don't know what they're going to have. It's not current stuff.
Right.
So if you really want something that's out now, you're taking a chance by waiting for the outlets or by waiting for something else.
The outlets are a big gamble because the buyers are there too. Yeah. And they know when the shipments are coming in. I don't know how they know, but they know. And we've been lucky on several occasions to just happen to be there. But I know there's times where I was going in there to get a spare jersey, and I'd go every single day, and then it wouldn't be there. And then one day I wouldn't go. That was the day it was there, and they bought every one of them. Yeah. There was a Haunted Mansion one I wanted, and it still eats me up to this day. And it's frustrating. Honestly, I think a great way to battle this problem is I think Disney should reach out to the personal shoppers that do this the right way and say, hey, what if we work with you? We'll ship you, they make an abundance of merch and ship it out to the personal shoppers and say, hey, we will work with you on this. If you got an order, maybe set up a drop shipping or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
There's got to be a way to do that, and to be able to make that process easier, or just design Shop Disney better. Because if Shop Disney had this merch, these eBay buyers would be out of business. They wouldn't need them.
And that's one of the things you pointed out is really good. I mean, the Disney, what's it called? The Experience app, the one you use in the park.
My Disney
Experience. Yeah, that one. The one in Disneyland, when we went to Disneyland, seemed to work better. But My Disney Experience and the website, the shopping website, the Shop Disney, it's really clunky. And for a company to have the technology that they have, it's almost like, is this on purpose? Why would you make something this hard to use? Because I got to think there's really smart people there that could figure it out.
I'm sure they've got them, but I will tell you, a company like that they're nickels and dimes. You got a lot of, I hate putting some of this on the accountants, but then you also have executives that are looking at a profit margin. Okay. And so kind of what happens is, if the money doesn't need to be spent, they're not going to spend it. It's until something really happens and they're like, crap, we should really spend the money on to fix this up. But they never have. A great example of that, look at Disney Plus. When Disney Plus first came out, they couldn't handle the demand and it shut down their servers. It was a big, big mess, right? And people had paid for subscriptions and couldn't get in. Whenever the parks reopened, people were fighting to get reservations or get that pass for the preview.
Yeah.
And the servers would lock up and nobody could get in. Another good example is the Minis main attraction in 2020. They were putting the merch out at Magic Kingdom, and then 2 hours later it was gone. And then what they started doing, they said, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to put everything on Shop Disney, and it would just lock up. And you were lucky at the end to even get a pin. It's just a mess, and I don't know how they fix it. I think it's to their credit, it's a complicated problem. But the biggest thing is you just got to have a system that's that can handle that demand.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, they're just not willing to handle that. Or maybe they just don't want to spend the money and are just dealing with it. It's kind of like the check engine light. The issue is there.
That's right.
But let me see how far I can go.
I can make it to the next service station.
I can make it to the next service station. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
What about Disney Plus?
Oh, what about it?
What do you think of the garbage with it when it first came out?
Love it. Absolutely love it. I love the Imagineering story. I love a lot of the Disney parks programming they have on there. I love The Mandalorian. Absolutely love the Marvel shows that we've been seeing. I think it's a great streaming app, and we're subscribers. I love it. Absolutely love it. I didn't get WandaVision the first 3 episodes. I was like,
I didn't make it past those.
I watched the first 3 episodes, and I'm just like, when the hell? Well, I didn't get it, right?
Yeah. And
my mods were telling me how good the show was, and I remember getting into because we have a mod chat, and I said, "Are you guys messing with me?" Because this is like one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. This is like the worst sitcom I've ever seen in my life. And they're like, keep watching. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, honestly, we turned it off. First episode, we were just like, I can't do this anymore. This is awful. And then it got good. And it was just, but at first I was like, okay, Disney Plus programming's, maybe they're not going to do so good at this. And they are really good.
Yeah.
But I love it when they do behind the scenes stuff at the parks. I love it when they talk to the Imagineers. That's the stuff I just cannot get enough of. And
I'm pretty old. I remember the original Disney Channel, they would show a lot of the original documentaries and, the film from Disneyland and the original Disneyland shows. And that stuff needs to be out there. It needs to be on there. And maybe one day it will be, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's only the old Mickey Mouse board.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff could be on there.
The old one.
If you sit back and think about it, when it comes to Disney parks, there's a lot of good ideas out there. How about a show visiting some of the chefs around Disney, seeing how they do it?
Oh, yeah.
Show you the process of how they make that gingerbread house, or how do they make that Tonga toast, or show you how they do the signs around the parks. Show you how the merch is made. Here's the thing. Even though the merch is actually produced overseas, it's designed here.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a great idea. That would
there's a gazillion things you could do. Did you know that the engineers for the train, that's all they do. They are like they know everything about that train. They can tell you the history of it. If you ever get a chance to talk to one of the engineers, they know everything, and they're so willing to tell you everything about them. There could be something about that. Just the different jobs. There's so many ideas you can put on Disney Plus, and that's the stuff that I just eat up. I love that stuff.
And it's their folks that they would be talking to. You would think it'd be relatively inexpensive to do.
Yeah, that'd be the easy thing.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is get somebody with a personality to go there and do it.
That's right.
We could make it Stacy, a contact with Disney.
Need to get Stacy back, huh?
And
all right. Are you ready for the next question?
I'm ready. Are you guys ready? I'm ready.
What?
What do you think of the Black Animal Kingdom show?
The what?
The Animal Kingdom backstage one.
Oh, the Backstage the Animal Kingdom show that was on Disney Plus, I guess, huh?
That was good, where they were showing the animals.
Right.
That's a great show because you're seeing how the animals are cared for. People don't realize Animal Kingdom really never closed. The park closed, but those vets were still working with the animals every single day.
Yeah.
There was still a lot going on there. And I will tell you, I think that stuff is really good programming because it never ends. There's always stuff to talk about, right? Yeah, I think that stuff is really good. And I mean, the more they can give us of Disney park stuff, not only here, but Disneyland or the other parks around the world, hey, I'll watch. They got a subscriber in me for life. I'll watch that any day of the week.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Ready for number 7? Number 8, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I lost track. All right. Number 8. There you go.
I wish the Disneyland community is one of the first one. Oh wait, went online, I'm sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, you're fine.
What do you think makes it so special?
I think people just love it. It's amazing how it brings people together. If you look at how crazy society is right now, you look at how angry everybody is, you look at all the divisions in society today, it's amazing that you can put people in a chat on YouTube and they all just get along. It's amazing. You may have to root out a few bad apples, which we do a lot. But it is amazing how that mouse or that Figment or that Minnie Mouse or that Donald Duck or whatever, Stitch, just brings people together. I will tell you, Universal has that magic a little bit. Nobody has it like Disney. And I mean, I will tell you, one of the stories most people don't realize about the Figment popcorn bucket, there were a lot of people buying Figment popcorn buckets to give them to kids so their parents didn't have to wait in line.
Oh,
that's pretty awesome.
Where would you ever see that anywhere else in society?
Yeah.
That's the Disney fan community.
When Emma was young, and because she had trouble with lines too at the time, right? Everybody gets antsy in lines, especially when you're little. But we would bring bubbles, or when you had the dining pass and you had the little certificates that they used to use way back when with all your snacks. Well, it's all when your account now.
Okay.
They used to have the dining plan, right? That's going right now, but it was sort of like, it was fun to go, okay, well, we're at the end of the trip. We've got like things for like 5 or 6 snacks left. Let's go find some people. Or you give someone the fast pass. I'm not going to be able to make it. Here's a couple of fast passes. Right. People did that and still do things like that themselves. And it would be hard pressed to find that in the normal community, right?
Yeah, you just don't see it. Yeah. And you know what? Even though society is crazy right now, there's a lot of good people in society. Yeah. And but getting back to the Disney community, this time last year I was in the hospital. I had a blockage in my stomach, and it was very painful. I was in the hospital a week, and people were constantly asking if I was okay. People were like, "Hey, you take all the time you need. We will be here for you when you get back." The next dream, I was at Magic Kingdom, and it was like $500 super chat. I had super chats like crazy that day, and I was just like, "Hey, you don't have to do this, but thank you so much." I mean, people were just so happy. I couldn't tell you how many times I saw comments. "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're back, Brian. I'm so glad you're okay. How are you feeling? You shouldn't go too long today. Drink plenty of fluids." Yeah. I have people in chat that constantly tell me, "Hey, make sure you're drinking enough. Make sure to get something to eat. Here's a super chat to get you popcorn." It's an amazing community. It really, really is. And it's such a blessing to be a part of it.
It is. I think so too. That people have been very welcoming for Emma.
Yeah.
And that as a dad, that makes me feel wonderful. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that.
And one of the great things, now I will tell you, there are some not so happy people in the Disney community. All you need to do is go to a couple of Facebook groups. Won't name any names, and you will see some crazy things in there. And I will tell you, our Facebook groups are not like that at all. It's a good family atmosphere. People are helping one another. You can go in there. You can go in our Disney dining group, and people say, "Hey, how far out should I go before I book this? What should I expect? Can I get? If I have a shellfish allergy, do I need to worry about this? What do I need to do for the DAS? I mean, we have a great community in all 4 of our Facebook groups, and any other community, you may not have that, but like I said, there's times we have to root out some bad apples, but there's so many good people. There really is.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Oh.
What?
Have y'all looked at my Facebook group now?
Oh,
I will have to check it out.
Emma has a group called Differently Abled Disney Fans.
Yeah.
And it's your group. You only have one group, right? But that's what it's for.
Yeah.
And it's for anybody, basically, right? But it's family friendly. Her mom and I are the ones that kind of monitor that. But it's one of those things that she wants to have a place for people to come talk and not feel like they're going to be, messed with or mistreated, right? And I'm sure that's true in a lot of them. Like you said, what you guys do, y'all monitor, and that's important.
Oh boy. Yeah. You definitely have to have mods.
That's awesome.
But if you got great mods, you have a great community.
So we know as moderators.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So that's what mods are.
Yes.
Yep. And we're very lucky. We've got the best mods. They are amazing. And that's why our community, both on YouTube and Facebook, are just filled with great people because we rooted out some bad apples.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, here is number 9.
Well,
all right, go ahead.
What are your goals for your channel in 2022? How can we help you as a subscriber and friend?
There you go, and friend.
Yeah. So my goals for this year, I'd like to finally get over the hump and get to 10K. That's my goal. I think my biggest thing is to get back to where I was in 2020. We were just on fire in 2020. Once the parks opened, we were growing. We were getting almost 1,000 subscribers a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was insane growth. It really, really was. And I just was blown away. I really, really was. And then in 2021, well, Amanda got hurt. I got in the hospital from the blockage. Seeing Amanda go through the things that she was going through, the channel subscriptions slowed down a lot because people were getting out.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was sitting there thinking, okay, why is that? Is there something I'm doing wrong? Or is there somewhere, the biggest thing is you can overreact when you have a YouTube channel that's just killing it, but then things are not where they should be. And you start thinking, okay, what's going on? What's happening? And you overreact, and then you start doing things you shouldn't do. And when things were starting to go down compared to where they were, because I am I'm not a numbers guy, but when the numbers are going up and then they go down, I start paying attention to that because that's what I've done my entire life.
Yeah.
If a light bulb isn't out, okay, I need to go change the light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
So the light bulb was burning out, and I was trying to figure out why. And instead, I should have just been doing what I had been doing in 2020, which was just having fun. So my goal in 2022 is to have a good time, not worry about things that I can't control. and the stuff that was happening in 2021, I couldn't control.
Yeah.
But I don't need to give myself a lot of work. I need to just focus on the things that I can handle and no more, and just be the best streamer I can be. And don't worry about those other things.
Yeah.
And if I do that, the channel will be successful. And if the channel doesn't ever hit the level that it did in 2020, that's okay.
Yeah.
I've got a core of people that watch that are there every single day.
Mhm.
And it's my job to give them the magic every day when they can't be here. So no matter what, I always know those people are going to be there to watch us, and I need to focus on them. And when we do hit 1,000, we hit these different levels. I just need to enjoy it, and I need to start thinking, okay, who are the people that are be coming with this next 1,000, and what kind of personalities are they going to bring to my stream?
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that I like thinking about, and I'm going to worry about that and nothing else. And what can subscribers and fans do, and friends? They can hit that like button. That really helps.
Yeah.
That is the biggest.
Huh?
And the like.
Well, he was
Oh,
saying
yeah.
the like button. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hit that like button, because that really makes YouTube see that, hey, people are watching this and they like it. Let me go recommend it. The like button is a big thing.
Yeah.
Definitely subscribe, because that way you don't miss out on anything. So if you're watching, but if you're a subscriber, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
And life happens. You can't be there every day, but man, we love seeing you in there. Every day that you can be in the stream, definitely be there. It's great having you. If somebody tips or PayPal's, that's great. But I'm just happy to see the names. Every day I see names, especially when I go, wow, and I don't see a name, and then they're in there one day. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Hello, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. And I recognize those people every single stream. And I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this person in a while. How's it going? Good to see you. And they love that. They love seeing that, hey, you remember them. And that's a big thing.
That's cool. Does that work?
Yeah, that's what happened yesterday when we were on Disneyland, and I met with Noah that Dennis No, who was one of my subscribers, who was in Australia. He was on the live stream.
That's right.
Yeah.
She recognized some people that were on her Saturday night were on that live place thing last night that Emma was on. And it's like seeing a friend, right?
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
And after a while, you get more and more of those friends, and they start supporting you. I was on a YouTube channel. I was on Spokesman's YouTube channel at 6 a.m. And people got up to make sure that they donated to Give Kids the World during our Magic Stream.
Yeah.
And once you build a following like that, man, it's a magical thing. It really is. We are so blessed that how the people watching that we do. And it's going to happen to you, Emma. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well,
I would like to do that one day, though.
Well, that would be good. Well, you did a 3-hour show a
I
while
know,
back.
but we need to do it for like Give Kids the World. And
Well, right. At that one, you did that one for the nonprofits here, for Disability SA and right, and for Fact Institute, and you did great. So,
yeah, you raised more money than I did. You raised $5,000 or something like that, and I only raised $2,000. So you're making me look bad.
It was actually 45,000.
4,500.
Oh, 40.
Yeah, not 45,000.
Oh, okay. It wasn't $5,000. It was
$4,500. Yes.
Okay. But that's still more than I made. That's
amazing.
double than what I did.
That's pretty amazing.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do hope the next time y'all do one, I hope you get a lot more support and a lot more money raised for Give Kids the World.
Yeah.
Me too, because it's a great organization.
It is.
Yeah.
I have a special place in my heart for kids, and I've been in a hospital. This is one of the things I told Spokesman off camera. When we talked, I told him, I said, look, this is an amazing charity, because I was in the hospital for many days, after visiting hours, watching Amanda and Chris and our other kids leave. And being stuck in the hospital, having to watch your family leave is a awful experience.
Yes.
I was older. Okay. I was 40 something. These are young kids when mom and dad have to leave. And I can't even imagine what that's like. I can't imagine being more worried about the things that they're dealing with instead of, playing with cars or playing with dinosaurs or just being a kid and just having those moments where you're using your imagination, you're playing with your toys.
That's right.
For me, it breaks my heart that there are kids out there that have to worry about that and not be able to enjoy being kids. So if we can get them a day at Magic Kingdom and where their family can take a break, take a deep breath, and just enjoy life together at a park like Magic Kingdom, it's anything we can do, we would love to help.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
There you go. All righty. Ready for number 10?
Yeah,
After number 10 are the famous 5
or
questions.
the fun question.
Or the fun 5, however you want to call it.
All right.
Here's number 10.
What advice would you give to newer giga YouTubers like me? I'm not being cute.
Okay. Yeah, you're being
with American parks.
You're a ham, is what you are.
I know.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, who don't live near the parks, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is great because I live this. I at the time I started my YouTube channel, I did not live near the parks. I will tell you, it's really tough. And there's some people that do unboxings. There's people that do, they show all the merch they bought while they were at Disney. Or they do what I did and they just take a gob of videos. I'll tell you what you want to do. One, when you're starting out, do not do sub for sub. It's a bad deal. Everybody tries to do it. And the thinking is, okay, well, if you sub me, I sub you, and we're just building this huge community. The problem is, and you start thinking in your head, okay, well, if I get 200, let's just say 200 subscribers, right? And they're all the same people doing the exact same thing I'm doing. They're not going to watch me.
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to watch them because I can't watch 200 people and still do my channel and still have a normal life. So right then and there, you start realizing that system is flawed right off the bat. And, that is probably one of the worst things you can do because you'll have all these subscribers. And honestly, YouTube does not like that. They do not want you doing sub for sub.
Right.
But it's not going to improve your viewer numbers, your views. Views are, I think, so subscribers are huge, but so are views. Views are a very big. Watch time is a big number.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough getting those views. But I will tell you the best advice. Go to Disney and film your hotel room before you unpack. You would not believe
Really
how great those videos do.
Oh, the resort hotel tour.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah.
I
We've
will
seen
tell
them,
you-
but I wouldn't have thought about doing
I'm
videos.
giving out ideas. I should be bottling the stuff up. Shh, okay, cut that part out. I'm gonna tell you something.
No. They are good ideas, Mr.
Yeah, he
Ryan.
needs to put them in a YouTuber
You
course.
you are helping us getting new ideas.
There you
for
go.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what. Just go back and look. Just do a search for Splash Mountain POVs. There is a gob of them, and there's so many with no views. And generally, people like watching that stuff, but they're only going to go to a bigger channel, like Attractions Magazine or Sharp Production. I mean, there's several different ones that are just really good with this stuff.
Yeah.
And we still do them because, man, hey, who knows? People will watch them. And that's what I was doing that summer. So in 2019, I had all this footage. And we weren't staying at Disney. We were staying at the Blue Heron, which is where we used to like to stay. But then one day we stayed at the Caribbean Beach Resort. And so I did videos there. I did a room review. I did I filmed us going to Sebastian's, which is a great restaurant. I filmed the entire resort where all the quick services were, the pool, everything. And I put the video up. And I look at that video, I could not have edited that thing any worse than I did. There was so much footage I thought I had that I didn't have. That's a big thing with doing vlogs that has bit me in the where so many times. And I'm thinking, this is garbage. No one's going to watch it, right? I was getting views that went nuts. And so you sit there and look at, I got a POV for Spaceship Earth. It's got like 50 views. I've got another one of us going, or us doing this, and it's got, I don't know, 100 views. There's the Caribbean Beach Resort, and it's 1,500. You can go look at it right now. It's 1,500 views. It was the first big video we ever did. And I am just sitting there, and I'm just like, really?
There you
I've
go.
got a video. My favorite video I ever did was Tigress at Busch Gardens, because I had a 360 camera. I think it was on my wrist. I had a 360 camera, and I figured out with a 360 camera I could do a fixed frame instead of having the 360 everywhere.
Oh,
okay.
I picked out the footage I wanted. And what's cool about it is when you're going in when you're doing an inversion, that you do those loops. When you watch it on a GoPro, you watch a ride like that on a GoPro, the horizon flips.
yeah.
On a 360 camera, it does not flip. So I am so proud of this video, and nobody watched that video. I went to Busch Gardens. They just opened up Tigress. I'm like, yeah, this is some footage right here. I am killing it. People are gonna love it. I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna be a big YouTuber, and like nobody watched it.
Remember? I don't know
But
if you
then I put a
remember
hotel review up, and everybody watched it, and I learned something.
Sir Willow. Remember he told you that one of the videos he put a lot of time and work into, he was the most proud of. It hardly got any views. He said, so you really never know what's going to hit with people. So you just do what you enjoy, be creative, and then go from there, right?
But here's what's big about doing room reviews. You're helping people plan their vacation. That is such an underrated concept of content right now in the community. Some people get it and some people don't. And here's the thing. Disney just spent 2 years updating a bunch of resorts. So whatever is out there 2 years ago, it's outdated.
Yeah. And nobody's going to watch, because when you see that it's old, it's gone.
Yeah. Contemporary is not the same resort it was a year ago.
Yeah.
The Poly is different in a lot of rooms. There's a lot of Moana rooms now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content waiting to be had. And if you're filming the same stuff everybody else is filming, you're just watering down everything. And nobody plans their trip around a POV, but they do for a room review. True story.
When we were going on a cruise a couple of years ago with my parents for their 50th anniversary, I think we watched every cruise video I could find.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were ship tours of the same ship over and over, because we wanted to know as much as we could find out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, some of these were hour long,
Oh, yeah, they're huge. I've seen a bunch of them, and I'm mesmerized at how long I watch.
It really so.
I keep telling man, I need to get on a cruise ship because I'm watching this forever. I'm guessing other people would too. I need to go film one of these things.
All righty. Well, you ready for the fun 5 or the famous 5 or whatever we want to call these things? Here we go.
If you could have a year's supply of any Disney park snack, what snack would you choose?
Oh, this isn't fair. You could have a year's supply of any Disney snacks. So we're talking about one snack, all right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Let me think about this. That Mickey waffle is amazing. Oh, my gosh. Then there's that gingerbread cookie that's only available at Epcot during the holidays at, was it Kringle?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think I may be saying that wrong. I may be saying the wrong place, but it's in the Germany pavilion where you get the popcorn. They've got a cookie there. It's amazing. The Dole Whip. The different flavors of Dole Whip. I know it's funny, but I love Disney popcorn. I could eat Disney popcorn forever.
That's her favorite. It's just popcorn, plain popcorn with butter. Yeah, that's her favorite.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a tough one. That gingerbread cookie that they have at the confectionery. Oh man, that's a tough one. That's a fun question to ask though. I'm gonna have to go. And I just said I get some of the things I love to eat at the food festivals too, like the pork sliders, the Kahlua pork slider at Food and Wine at Epcot. I'm gonna go with the iconic Mickey waffle at Sleepy Hollow. I love that waffle. I could eat that any day, and I will tell you, it's only $6.50 to eat the thing. It's so good. It's one of the best values out there. I love that thing. I'm gonna go with that. Final answer.
Oh,
the beignets. Oh my God, the beignets. Oh man.
You need a few years.
By the way, how I didn't think of that right off the bat is nuts because we were at Port Orleans today and I got beignets.
That's where we're planning to stay in June. And that's one of the things my wife is looking forward to. We grew up in Louisiana, so we haven't had those in quite a while.
I didn't grow up when they were growing up.
Well, of course not. You're younger.
And I will tell you.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I love me some gumbo.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I love the beignets, but I'm going to stick with the Mickey waffle.
All righty. For the
That's
record,
a tough bullet.
got it.
You guys don't play fair. That's a tough question.
My second one would be the waffle with the Nutella from Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, she likes the Nutella.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
This is my second one.
That's number 2 after popcorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had that before we started filming that for.
Yeah, we had that for breakfast that day. All right, here's number 12.
If you could live in any Disney resort hotel, what hotel would you choose? And yes, it includes the ones that were never built and the ones that are being current building. So you need to add that.
No, it's okay. How about we just go with what the question says?
Okay, so I'm going to start off with my 3 favorites, and then I'm going to choose between the 3.
Okay.
In no particular order at this point. Animal Kingdom Lodge, but you got to have the Sahara view outside your window. You got to have that balcony where you can see the animals. At Kidani Village, Wilderness Lodge, because it's so close to Magic Kingdom, but you don't feel like you're that close.
Yeah, that's true.
And besides, they've got great restaurants there. And the Polynesian. I like the boardwalk. I love the boardwalk. Saratoga Springs is okay. I think the draw to that would be that you're so close to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Grand Floridian, I can just go visit Grand Floridian anytime I want. I don't really need to stay there. Contemporary is cool. I would like to stay there once just to say I've done it, but it's not a favorite resort of mine. But I've spent so much money in that boutique at the Poly that I think I'd have to go there. I love Sam's. I love that place. I love that place so much. I haven't been to Ohana. That's one thing I've got to do. I'm gonna go this next week. I'm going to Ohana.
Oh, there you go.
I'm so excited. But if I had to name all, I think the one thing that keeps Animal Kingdom Lodge for being my favorite is that it's so far away from everything else. And it's not even really, you still have to take a bus to Animal Kingdom, which I don't understand.
Yeah. That's very true. I think that's probably true. We love it too, but the big drawback is transportation.
Transportation is a big, big problem, and it's not easy getting to the other places. I mean, it's not hard, but there's no monorail, there's no Skyliner to take you to the other places
too. Yeah, you got to plan a good hour to back and forth.
Or you can walk there or ride in your car.
Well, it still takes a while because you got to park and then you got to do the tram or whatever else, right?
And see,
Okay.
you would think that it would be easy to walk over there or something like that, but they should have made it closer. And maybe there was a reason why they. And honestly, I don't know. There was probably reasons why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I wish they had, because I think that would have been really awesome. Because you sit back and think there's just nothing but trees over there. They could have really made that work and really made a nice walk to the park.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there were reasons why they couldn't.
What
But
did you? Oh, sorry.
oh, that's okay. But because of that, I'm going to say the Polynesian is my favorite.
All right. There you go.
Absolutely love it. And it's amazing because it's so old, but it's still that smell when you walk in there. It smells so good.
Oh, it's unique. It's absolutely.
And I love my tiki guy. I love my tiki guy. Absolutely love that guy. I always pay my respects when I go into the Polynesian.
What are you? Oh, you're gonna show. She has her Hatbox Ghost Tiki.
Oh, I'm jealous. I love that. Oh man,
two things that are favorites, huh? Is Hatbox and your Tiki stuff. All righty. Well, here is number 13. Are you ready?
If you could build any Disney park attraction, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Anything or what that could build in your backyard, what attraction would you build?
Oh man. Let me think about that one for a second, because there's so many great rides, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I will tell you, Storybook Land at Disneyland. I'm going to do Disney. I'm going to put Disneyland in this too. Storybook Land is a canal, and I just put out a POV today for this ride. But they're canal boats, and you're going through. And it's an original Disney. Most people don't even realize this is there. It's an original Disneyland ride. Walt really wanted this, and there's all these little castles, and they tell the story, and you're going by them. And then they have the one for Aladdin. They have one for Frozen. They have some for the older films. And it's just a fun ride. And that would be a great one to have in your backyard. Although you'd have to have a really good greenskeeper to keep it look nice. If you ever see the POV, you'll be like, "Wow, that is beautiful." But you can tell it takes a lot of work to keep it that way. That would be one. It's amazing how much I love the riding on the railroad. We don't have it here. I got to ride it at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And that's nice. Me personally, I love Haunted Mansion. I think Haunted Mansion might be that ride.
Yeah.
Because I just love the concept of it. It's just a great ride. People Mover's nice, but then you got to have stuff to look at. And
that's right.
So if I'm just looking at my backyard, that probably won't do anything. Space Mountain's amazing, but man, the neighbors are gonna hate that big old thing in the backyard.
That's right.
Like Haunted Mansion's gonna be any less big, right? There's Big Thunder. There's Big Thunder Mountain. There's the Matterhorn. There's Splash Mountain. There is oh my gosh, there's Everest. This is and then I love Pirates. I love Pirates. Man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say, because it's just a fun ride. It's not, and because you would have the outside environment, which you wouldn't get with Haunted Mansion. I'm gonna stick with outside rides on this. I'm gonna say.
Idea.
I'm definitely not saying teacups. I think what I will do is I will say Big Thunder Mountain.
There you
That's
go.
A great ride.
You would like that too. I think her favorite would still be Haunted Mansion, huh?
Yeah, I love Haunted Mansion too. But you're in your backyard, so I'm thinking something's where you're gonna open up to the sky, and that's kind of why I went with that one. But if I could have any Disney attraction at my house, it would be Haunted Mansion.
We talked the other night. Will be coming out soon. Is the an interview with Doug Marsh, who's on the board of the Carrollwood Foundation that operates Walt's Barn out in Griffith Park.
Oh,
And he said, and Emma agreed. Emma loves this one too. You just never got to see it. Was what? You remember what he said he would love to? Mine Train?
Oh, my friend when they go to Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, we've seen on videos, but we didn't get to experience. So that would be really cool too. All righty, you ready for number 14?
That was a good question, by the way. I love that question, the last one. That was a good one.
All right.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
You want to know what mine would be?
Yes. I think you would want Haunted Mansion, right?
That is the second one.
Uh-huh.
Now it is the Never Built Dragon Ride that was for Quickly Kingdom at Animal Kingdom.
What kind of ride was it going to be?
I think it was a mountain coaster, kind of like the Fuji mountain ride that was never built at Epcot.
Oh, like the Mount Fuji ride.
Yeah.
That they were going to build in Japan. They were going to build a Mount Fuji ride train, like a bullet train themed roller coaster with Godzilla.
But
that would have been cool.
copyright.
Huh?
Copyright.
Well, at the time they were working with them though.
Yeah.
Remember, because they were building what? They were building Disneyland in Tokyo at the time. Yeah. Oh well. All right. Number 14.
Okay.
One more after this one.
Okay.
If you could wait a minute, I got to say my other stuff for the Haunted Mansion.
I think we all know.
It'll be Disney World version, but with Hattie and then
The Hatbox Ghost in it, right?
and Paul Green and the other series who help work on the attraction component for real.
Mhm.
And they can do their part.
Okay, so yeah,
And then a copyright audio and animatronic. It can actually be a real level.
okay, so you want the people who worked on it who have passed away to come back as spirits and do the narration.
Look, they are spirits.
That's a bit
They
much.
are spirits.
Okay.
They are spirits, Daddy.
You always,
that'd be
you
interesting.
never cease to surprise me, girl. I
Yeah.
swear. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Now we're on 14.
Okay.
Because it's almost 8 over here, so it's probably around 7 over at your time.
It's almost 9 his time.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why
Yeah.
we're getting on to
Yeah,
number
okay.
14.
Yeah. If you could only visit one Disney park in the future, which park would you choose?
This is the easiest question you asked me. I would go to Tokyo and go to Disneyland in Tokyo. Tokyo Disney Sea and Disneyland in Tokyo, they're just amazing. They have the best popcorn buckets. They have the cutest merch. They have the different types of food.
Yeah.
They've got different attractions you just don't have here. It would absolutely be that. And I will. The cool thing about Tokyo is that it's a partnership.
Yeah.
So you've got a company there that just spends a ton of money, and then I mean, like here, everything's on a budget with Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But over there, you've got some deep pockets. So the Imagineers can go there and just be as creative as they want to be. Really, not a lot of restrictions.
Yeah.
And so the stuff you're going to see over there, you're just not going to see here. And it's amazing the stuff that Imagineers have come up with.
Yeah.
And you look at some of the attractions that are over there. It is amazing. I would love to go over there. So if I ever get an opportunity to go, I'm jumping at it.
That's kind of on the bucket list for us, huh? We would love to do that too. What?
Mine would be Tokyo Disney Sea.
Because
they don't have a climate zone over there in Japan because Japanese doesn't know what the climate zone is here in America.
Yeah, it's a very different ride.
Because they came up with their own story that the Japanese can understand instead of having the world growing climate zone here in America.
That's right. That's right. It's Hotel Hightower or something, right?
Yeah. And don't get, I think it was, Joe Rody, right?
It was modeled after him. Yeah. That's what
Isn't that funny? Isn't that something? That's one of my favorite Disney stories. Is that? And I remember him. I saw him tell the story. It is the funniest thing. Yeah, he was like, "Why me? Why are we making this on my face?"
Because he went well with the character.
It could be. He's got a unique look, right?
Yeah.
You know what? It works.
He's been involved in so many projects, right? Yeah, that's cool.
He helped out with Animal Kingdom.
Boy, he led the.
Oh, he was amazing with Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
He was just amazing.
You know what was cool?
What?
The crane was built on a oil site.
An oil rig.
Yeah.
They used an oil rig, like the structure of one, as the foundation for the tree. Yeah.
Which is an interesting symbol. You know, we're taking energy and we're making something green out of it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting, and I guarantee you that was a message that they originally. I mean, I don't know, but I would have to assume that would be something that they were probably like, "Hey, you know, it's an interesting message if you sit back and think about that."
Yeah,
it really is.
It's a good point. All right, you're ready. This is the last one. This is the big question, but this is the last one.
Right. Rolling the sleeves.
Here it goes. Number 15, Em.
I'm stretching.
You're stretching?
Yeah.
All right. You got to stretch to read? Okay.
That's why I was stretching earlier, too.
Ta-da.
Okay.
There you go.
If you could ask Walt and Roy one question each right now, what question would you ask them?
Oh my gosh. Could you adopt me? That would probably be that. Can I be like a relative somehow? Can we just like legally make this happen? Because I would love to run Disney. I have some great ideas.
Yes. I would help fix up the company with Roy.
Yeah, you would want to help Roy fix up the company itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is what I would ask him. If you ask the Imagineers, like Joe Rohde, when he was building Animal Kingdom, there were limits to what he could do. For instance, Navi River Journey was supposed to be a bigger ride. It was supposed to be a lot longer. And it was supposed to go outside. But because of the budget restrictions, Joe had to scale that back, and that's why it's what it is.
Okay.
And if you go back to when Walt was building Disneyland, he only had so much money, and bankers thought he was nuts. I mean, he risked his entire company on building Disneyland.
Yeah.
My question to Walt would be, if you had the budget, and if you had the money in the deep pockets that you have today, what would you do differently with Disneyland? I would be really interested to see how much different Disneyland would actually be.
That's a really good question. Yeah.
And you know what I would really love to do? I would love to see Walt, if you sit back and think about it, Walt created, nobody really, you don't credit him with this, but Walt Disney basically, he came up with 360 technology before 360 technology ever came out. I mean, because he had that vehicle that had the 6 cameras on it, and they were showing that in the Canada Pavilion. That's a 360 cam, right?
Yeah.
He thought of this stuff in the 50s. Okay, that is mind blowing. What could Walt Disney do with technology today? Look at animatronics compared to the 50s.
Yeah. Look
at what he had to work with in the 50s. Could you imagine what he could have done in 2022? Maybe that might be my second question. What would you do? As far as what I would say to Roy, I would just say, Roy, thank you. Thank you for, because Roy was probably one of Walt's biggest critics. I'm sure, because Roy was the money, right?
Yeah.
When Walt was still around. And I'm sure Roy was like, are you sure you want to do this? After Walt passed, Roy did everything he could to build Magic Kingdom here in Florida. And if any of those two men had ever listened to people in those days, we would never have Disneyland. We would never have Disney World. Yeah. And every time I see Walt at the partners, and every time I see Roy, I think about that. And I definitely would say thank you for not listening. And it's a great message to young people. Do not ever listen to somebody knocking one of your ideas. It may not be a great idea, but you don't know till you try.
Yeah.
If Walt had listened to one person, the world would be a very different place when it comes to I mean, think about it. What would we be doing? Well, we wouldn't even be talking right now because there would be no Disney, right? Would
Yeah.
Disney had even survived without the parks?
And I mean, you think about what Roy did. I mean, Roy built Walt, built Magic Kingdom, which led to the rest of Walt Disney World being developed over the years. But there wouldn't be a Disneyland Paris. There wouldn't be Hong Kong. There
That's a
wouldn't
great
be
point.
Japan. There wouldn't be,
There wouldn't be Epcot.
it would be, it would just
Yeah.
purely be Disneyland. And that's a whole different perspective
Yeah.
on what they've done if that was the only park they would have built.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Honestly, Michael Eisner made a lot of gambles. I mean,
I
Paris
thought
was
about
a
that too.
big gamble. The French hated it when it first opened, and it was a mess when it first opened.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things that did not go well, but Eisner kept going through it. I mean, he had tomatoes thrown at him from the French. I mean, there was actually footage of him doing the. I'm not sure if it was a press conference or what, but he had tomatoes thrown at him. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
You made this huge investment. You've risked a lot of things to make this work, and this is how your future clientele thought of it.
And that back then too, we've seen stuff like Defunctland and other people talk about right online, is that the company almost got bought and split up. And who knows what would have happened in the 70s, if that had happened.
Yeah, there was one guy just trying to do that, and I remember the Imagineers that was an episode in the Imagineering story, and they were worried sick that it was going to happen.
Yeah,
and I forget the story behind it, but thank God that never happened. But there was so many, honestly, through this last pandemic. If you sit back and think about it, if Disney did not create Disney Plus, how underwater would have Disney been, considering all the construction projects that they had going in? If you sit back and think about it, Disney was really risking everything with these, not knowing they were doing it, but think about all the construction projects worldwide they had going on at the time the shutdown happened for the pandemic.
Yeah.
If Disney Plus had Iger not created Disney Plus, would Disney have been able to make it out of the pandemic? I don't think they would have.
Yeah,
so
the timing was amazing.
As big as the company is now, there's still gambles they make every single day, and luckily they've paid off. Disney Plus was a huge gamble, and it worked. It saved the company.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know what I asked Walt and Roy?
Okay. Why don't you say?
First, I'll ask them both each to have a hug nicely.
You have a hug, and you'd ask them nicely, right? Okay. And then what?
The first one is for Walt. What do you think about what happened to your prototype of City of Tomorrow?
Oh, so what do you think? What do you think of Epcot today versus what your original plan was? Is that right?
Because Walt was still on there when he was on his deathbed.
Well, one of the last things he recorded was talking about Epcot, right?
Yep.
He filmed. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And what about Roy? I've heard you answer this before, so I know you have answers.
I'll ask Roy, what do you think of the company right now with the chairman, with the CEO, and who do you think will be most likely to replace him? And do you think me and you, Roy, can team up together and help straighten out you and Walt company again?
Oh.
And we have to add back Walt onto every single new intro of the Disney intro of the movie. Again.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot. That's a mouthful.
No.
Okay, so you want.
Walt needs more credit.
But you would want.
When they took Walt's thing off for the new intro for after back in 2015 when they stopped adding Walt and they technically Disney.
Right.
No, you have to keep adding Walt because he was a man with creativity. He's
Right.
the one who started Disneyland. He's the one who started the company with his brother Roy.
Right. We know
And
that.
think about it back in there.
Well, it's not the Imagineers. It's
Right.
the people that do the films and the people that do the branding for the company. So, yeah. So it used to be Disney's or Walt Disney's, right?
It was
Or
Walt Disney's.
right. And then they changed it to Disney's, and now it's just Disney something without the possessive. So you would want to see Walt's name used more by the company. Yeah.
Because it's more of a huge tribute to him.
It is. Don't get upset.
I know.
It's okay.
I will tell you.
I get upset quite easily.
No, you're okay.
I think one question I would ask Walt is, Walt wanted you to walk into the park and think you were in another, you were in a fantasy land, right? You weren't in so that's why they had the hills around Disneyland.
Right.
That's why Magic Kingdom is so far away from the ticket transportation center,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of my bones with Walt. I love going to Animal Kingdom because I can just walk right in from the parking lot. I love being able to do that at Hollywood Studios and doing that at Epcot.
Yeah.
Boy, I dread that TTC. I will tell you right now, I dread it. I think if I were going to ask, I would like to sit down and Walt get his bowl of chili, me get my bowl of chili. We'll sit there on that park bench at Disneyland, and I will say, okay, can we come up with something better for Magic Kingdom in Florida? Because I really hate that TTC. What do you say? I mean, just some constructive criticism. Can we come to a? Because boy, I really, especially after fireworks. Oh my! Anyone's ever done fireworks and then did the mad dash over to the TTC through the ferry or through the monorail?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one thing that's the one decision Walt ever did that I wonder if he would be like, you know what, maybe that wasn't the best idea.
What do you think? What? You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, huh?
I'll get a melted bar popcorn and I'll ask Roy if he wants anything.
Oh, goodness gracious.
We can share a popcorn together. But I'll ask him about what's been going on with the company.
Yeah, you were saying that, right? To ask him about what he thinks about how the company's being run today.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure he would have some interesting takes with Bob.
I think he might. I think he might.
What Bob though? Bob Eigner?
Bob, the guy that's running it now, Bob Chapek. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob Chapek.
There are two Bobs though.
Yes, it's the Bobs.
Yeah.
But one Bob is retired now and the other Bob's still there.
Hello.
So there you go. Well, that is it. That is the end of part 2. You have done all of your questions. Has this been fun?
Emma, great ones. Emma, great questions. I loved them.
This has been a lot of fun. Well, you have to say thank you and wrap it up. So how do you want to do that?
Thank you, Rick and Brian, because Brian and Amanda could come on my show.
You are so welcome. It was my pleasure. It was an honor to be here. And thank you guys so much for inviting me. It is a pleasure to be here. And you guys are amazing. Thank you for everything you do, Emma. You do a great, great job. And don't ever stop.
Thank you for your encouragement, Rick and Brian.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And tell Miss Amanda hi for us too.
Yeah.
Will do.
All righty. We'll see you soon.